So I want to go back briefly to AI and that idea of like the human luxuriness of having contact with a person, because I think that is probably for a lot of people, certainly listening to this, like that's the best case scenario for like what is going to happen is that yes, absolutely some jobs will be lost, but the interesting jobs and the more nuanced and the more complicated stuff is going to need people, and you want to be, oh yeah, I want to do that job, right? There's a lot of people who are like, yeah, I'd be happy if I was using AI, but I still got to do the bits where a person is really desperately needed and it makes a difference and people are excited to get human help. Like, of course, you want to love those customers who want to talk to you. Um, we were both in London for your conference
That's
recently-ish,
right. That's right. That was such a good
and I
conference.
think
You
we
were
were saying in the
so
same
funny.
hotel. Were we in the same? We
Oh
were
yeah,
in the
yeah,
same
yeah. We
hotel,
all
right?
were. I think a lot of us were right there down the street.
So
Yeah.
you walk in there, there is no concierge person. There's just a bunch of kiosks, right?
Actually, there was, I don't know what time you checked in, but there was a guy in the main room whose job it was to tell you that you couldn't check in until 3 o'clock. That's all he did. He couldn't check you in. He couldn't do anything. When it was time, he showed you how to use the kiosk to check in. It was
Yeah, exactly. So that makes me think about like this. I think this is a very good example of where we're going to end up, which is there will be a lot of companies which are you get the kiosk version of service here. And if you want to pay the lowest price, that's what you're going to get. And that makes sense because they're not having to pay for a nice, friendly person who can check you in and shows you what a television is as if you don't know. And sometimes that's all you need as well. Like a lot of the time, like, yeah, I don't need you to be giving me the handheldy service here. I've been on a plane for 1,000 hours and I want to get in that room. That's literally all I need from you is that one
and
key.
just lay down, lock the
Yeah,
door, lay down.
exactly.
Yes.
But there are still going to be hotels where, yes, I walk in and a person tells me, okay, you should go for a walk here. And if you go down this street, it's much easier to get there. And, all of that kind of stuff. That will still exist. And I think we need to personally, as individuals, we all need to decide, like, do I want to be, okay, well, my job really is how does this kiosk work? And what happens when the kiosk stops working? And how does it get escalated? Like, there is going to be a lot of those jobs of like, well, yes, you are doing like service design, but there's a lot less humanness in it. And the humanness really is applied at the level of designing the interfaces and the processes and the systems. Or do you want to be, well, now I'm working for the 4-star hotel and I'm on the front desk kind of job?
So right. And in the same conversation, who do you want your customer to be and what is their expectation? Because I don't know if you know about Yotel. It was like, Yo Sushi, they have their own hotel. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's like tiny cruise ship rooms, they're cheap. You do self check-in, there's no food, there's no amenities. It's a four walls, a door, and a bed, right? Or maybe it's four doors. I don't know. So you guys are on the bottom of the earth, so you do things differently. But the idea of it is this is just simple, straightforward, whatever. So if you are a backpacker or a cheap traveler or someone who just needs the last room in the city, you go to Yotel, you know what to expect. That's what you're expecting, right? But if you're someone who saw that this was a new cool hotel that you've never heard of and it has really slick modern branding and you were expecting a 4-star experience and you were expecting bellhop to take your bags up and you were expecting someone to show you how the TV works, you're going to be very upset with that level of service, even though it's not meant to serve you. It's never meant to serve you, right? So I think what ends up happening is we build products or we're building these companies, we're building experience, trying to be slick and modern and cool and self-service and easy. And we are still inheriting accidentally, perhaps through messaging, customers who want a more full service experience, which just creates friction that we didn't really intend. And when you acquire the wrong customers, they are a support headache. We know that already. We know exactly the archetype of who they are. So then the conversation gets even bigger about like, we can't cast a wide net. We have a very specific ICP. We have a very specific successful customer that stays with us on that 3 to 5 year track that we get X amount of, ACV from. Gosh, look at us all professional being in our C-suite, using our C-suite words. But you know what I mean? Like we have like annual contract value and whatever it is. We want to acquire the right customers for the right product who fit our ethos as defined, the process for our support as defined, but we've got to make it very clear what that is, right? And so there's so many times when someone is picking up a trend like AI or a chat bot. And because it is not implemented specific to their customer that they are trying to acquire and keep, it is just a bad experience all the way around. Or we see, somebody says, everyone's like, this big new thing is like people are trying to do Slack support now instead of chat support. There's like, they move you into like Slack is like it's part of your lifestyle. So you don't have to go anywhere. That's not going to work for the person whose company is embedded in Microsoft Teams, right? They're just trying
Nothing's
to
going to
get
work for them.
support. Nothing's going to work for them at
It's
all,
too late
right?
for
But
them.
they're just trying to get support, and you pushing them into a different thing to have this other separate conversation or whatever, you're creating more friction there again. Or maybe there's somebody who has like they work for a company that is chronically, bloated and over processed, and you do not have help documentation that they can copy paste or link to and send. You have videos that have a 5-second entry splash, and they're 90 seconds long because you got to watch the next one to get to the next point, and there's no transcript. Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, we have all these slick ideas, but if they're not implemented for the right customer, you're wasting your time on technology.